Hi. My name is Enrico. And I'm a liar, a cheat, and a thief. I'm also an alcoholic. Thanks to the grace of God and the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, I don't have to live that way anymore. I was a drunk for 25 years. My drinking took me to places that I never thought I'd go when I started drinking. I was raised in an Irish Catholic home, and we all know what that means. Everyone was always drinking, even at breakfast. My dad always had a beer in his hand. I thought that all adults drank alcohol all of the time, and so I could not wait for the day when I would be big and able to drink with them. I used to sit at the top of the stairs and listen to them drinking late at night. I wanted to be just like them. They sounded so happy. And I thought that that's what all adults do. Sometimes I would pretend I was going to the bathroom, and I would sneak into my parents' liquor cabinet. This first happened when I was 3 years old. I would drink alcohol every 15 minutes when my parents were not looking. Then I would sit in the closet by myself and pretend I was with them. I would line up all of my Barbie dolls and put empty nip bottles in their hands. While all of the other kids were having tea parties, I was having alcoholic parties with my dolls. This proves that I was born an alcoholic. I believe that I was an alcoholic long before I ever took my first drink. As a baby, I was very selfish. All I ever wanted was attention. It was all about me. Me 24/7. When I was 15 years old, my father invited me to drink with him. I was so happy. I danced around and told funny jokes. They all laughed at me. I realized years later that they were laughing at me because I was acting like a jackass. They were not laughing with me. They were just a bunch of alcoholics. And we all know what a bunch of ignorant slobs we alcoholics are. An alcoholic in his cups is an unlovely creature. I was a creature double feature for 32 years. In the end, I was drinking 5 gallons of rubbing alcohol a day. I thought that no one would know that I was drinking all of the time. I said that I needed to keep my Lawrence Welk records clean, and no one suspected that I was drinking. I would go into the bathroom and drink. Then I would come back out into the kitchen with everyone else and light my breath on fire like Gene Simmons. Everyone would laugh. Sometimes, my father would get drunk and beat my mother up. That's not supposed to be funny. Everyone would laugh at my Gene Simmons impersonation. Soon I began to beat my mother up too. And sometimes I would breathe fire into her face. My mom was mad. So I moved into an alley and gave blowjobs to old men so that I could get enough money to buy more rubbing alcohol. Then one day I had no customers. I saw some people in the barber shop. There were a bunch of old men sitting in a circle holding hands. Some of them were my customers. An old man named Jack the barber came up to me and shook my hand. When I reached out to shake his hand, my bottle of rubbing alcohol fell out of my sleeve. I was cross-dressing at that time and there was lipstick all over the bottle. Jack the barber asked me if I had a drinking problem, and I said no, because I was in denial. All alcoholics are in denial. Jack told me to sit down and shut the fuck up. I shit my pants and sat down on the floor. Jack made me sweep up the hair off the floor every day. I had to make cough and smoke cigarettes. I went to the bathroom every 15 minutes to pray. One day at a time. I was living 1 minute at a time. God was working through Jack the barber to help me. Whenever I had a feeling, I would just call Jack and say, I had a feeling. What should I do? What was I saying? Oh yeah. That day changed my life. Jack the barber told me that I was an alcoholic and gave me a copy of the big book. I read the book and I realized that I'm selfish and self-centered, ego-driven bastard. Alcoholics are the most self-centered people in the world. I went to 900 meetings in 90 days so that they would not refund my misery. Now I go to 3 meetings every day. No matter what. I can never stop. I know that, while I'm out enjoying life, my disease is doing push-ups in the parking lot. I know that, if I ever stop, there will only be 3 options for me. Jails, institutions, or death. Thanks to the grace of God and the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, I don't have to be that way anymore. I don't drink when my ass is on fire. I just go to a meeting. I'm happy, joyous, and free. God is doing for me what I could not do for myself. I have a life second to none. My natural state of being is drunk. I cannot control my own behavior. God made me this way so that He could teach me an important lesson about spirituality. I have a spiritual disease. My disease makes it so that I can't control my behavior, but it is my own fault. Because I have so many character defects. I've watched many people die of this disease. They can't seem to get honest with themselves. I know a guy who died because he tried a different way. They found his rotting carcass behind a dumpster. Rabid dogs were eating his testicles. His doctor convinced him that there was a new pill that could help him with his alcoholism. Magic pill for alcoholism. Like that will ever happen. There is no magic pill. I saw a guy on TV selling a book. He said that there is a cure for alcoholism. What kind of fool would suggest a thing like that? I'm not a doctor. But I know one thing for sure. If any doctor tells you there is a cure, you'd better get your ass to a meeting fast. If you are like me, you will die of alcoholism before you find your cure. Unless you go to meetings. Meetings. And more meetings. That's how the program works. You either grow, or you go. Thanks for letting me share.